It's part of the government's attempts to get us all to go green using what it calls a feed-in tariff. Now, it will pay cash to people who install solar panels on their roof and they feed the electricity into the grid. They can use some of the electricity they generate during the day and they will get money for whatever else is left over. Now, you can go down one of two routes. You can do what the homeowner here did, where he paid to have the panels installed outright. The average cost is around £10,000 to £12,000 per home. Or you can go down the other route. Now, that is where a company comes along, they will install the panels for free. You sign up to a contract, you get to use the electricity that you generate during the day for free. But after that, that feed-in tariff cash, instead of going to you, the homeowner, goes to that company so they can recoup their costs. And that is the method that was used by John Arnold, a retired head teacher who I spoke to yesterday.
So I've got 12 solar panels on my roof. They're photovoltaic cells, which means that they generate electricity while the sun is shining, like it is now. And that's converted from DC into AC, and I use all the electricity that I can. The electricity that I don't use gets exported back to the grid. The company that installed the solar panels have a lease for 25 years on my roof space. Any power that's produced I can use, but at the same time they get what's called a feed-in tariff paid to them for every unit that I produce, whether I use it or not, and that's paid to them by the electricity supply companies. The incentive is, well, there are several really. First is that it's free, so it's free electricity, and I'm very happy to be using it. Second incentive is that I'm contributing to government targets to reduce carbon emissions and to reduce the use of fossil fuels.
So John saves money, but he doesn't actually make any money because that feed-in tariff goes back to the company that provided his panels. Stephen Adshead, however, who owns this house, gets both, because Stephen, you paid, what was it, £18,000 to install these? So if you're saving and making money over the course of the year, you're still getting some money back, but it's going to take you a long time to recoup this cost. Why bother?
Well, we try to do as much as we can to be green. We'd previously looked at renewable energy and found that it wasn't economically sensible. But now with the new feed-in tariff, where we get paid for every unit we generate, whether we use it or not, then it suddenly looks a lot better economically. It's a lot better than putting money in the building society, and should pay back in about 8 or 10 years.
Great, Stephen, thank you very much. Well, a few points worth mentioning from the Energy Trust. First of all, you have to make sure you're in an area where you do get sunlight, otherwise there's absolutely no point. Secondly, you have to make sure that your roof is strong enough to cope with these tiles because they're not particularly light. And thirdly, you have to make sure that it is viable for you. So you have to make sure that you don't live in a listed building, for example, where you wouldn't be able to stick these things on the roof. And crucially, must point out, you only get the free electricity during the day because it can't be stored.